Yeah, so today I'm going to be focusing on the chakras. And I wanted to focus specifically on a meditation which works with Yantra. Now, Yantra is visualization. So, if you're not a big visualizer, you might just like to bring your awareness and attention to these areas that I'll be mentioning. And we'll be moving up through the center of the body as we practice this chakra meditation, and then we'll be moving back down through the center of the body. So, if you've never heard of chakras before, chakras are wheels of energy. They're really like broadcast centers. It's like areas in the body where we specifically tend to fuel our expression in the world. And when those areas are grounded and balanced, then we kind of have that in that area, we might approach life in a balanced way. When those areas are distressed or we feel shifts and changes, then sometimes the qualities of those areas might tend to get blocked or feel overexpressed. So, what do I mean by that? So if we think about the earth element, right, the earth element is stability, security, inner strength. It also, when we feel grounded, it's like a connection through our tribe, our lineage, and our family. So when this area gets disturbed, when we feel like something in our family is exploding, or we feel like our housing situation is no longer there, or we're not getting the food that we need, all the things that help stabilize us, then that can, exacerbate issues in the area of earth. So earth is related to elimination, it's related to smell, and it's specifically related to our bones and our muscles and our tissues. So when things are destabilized, it can affect those areas. Often people talk about how their back goes out when they're really tense, like their lower back, right? Or they might get a knee injury or a hip injury. Now, I'm not saying there's like, if you get a hip injury just because, you did something, it's not necessarily because, your first chakra is out, but you can also look at, were you really stressed that day? Were you reacting to something? Did you not put your footing surely one step in front of the other? And then, you got an injury. So sometimes it's just about being grounded and being in our bodies. So the first chakra, as I said, is all about stability, groundedness, family, memory, smell, right? Home, tribe. And the shape that we use to balance that area is a golden cube. So a cube made out of pure gold. So we're going to visualize that golden cube. Then we move to the next area, which is the second chakra. I'm not going to use the Sanskrit names today. I'm going to keep it really basic for those of you who've never been exposed to this before. And if you have been exposed to chakras before and you're familiar, just maybe there's some insight or something that I'm sharing that you've never heard before. So, stay present, stay open. So the second chakra, or the second area that we focus on, is the area of the water element. And water is fluid, it's flowing, it's relating, it's creativity, it's our changeability, our likes and our dislikes, and it's also our sense of self. So if we think about this whole pelvic area, it's where we bring forth life, we create life. That's why it relates to creativity. Also, the hips are very fluid, right? So often when we're looking at this whole pelvic area, it's to do with our cycles in our lives, right? And so it's also kind of what we're drawn towards and what we're repulsed by. So the shape that balances this area is a silver crescent moon, and the tips of the moon are right at the tops of the hips, and the base of the moon is right down towards the pubic bone. So it's like you're looking at a crescent moon on its side, and the color is silver. So the base chakra is gold, and this image is a silver crescent moon. Gold and silver are both the densest elements on the earth, and water and earth are very closely related in that, when we lose our sense of smell, it's really hard to taste as well, right? When the smell goes, when you have a cold or something like that. So earth and water are intricate. Now we move to the solar plexus area. This is a red triangle with the point of the triangle pointing down. So the red triangle, it's like velvet red, and the element is fire. And this is all about action and work and outward expression in the world. It's our gut feeling. The fire element is all about digestion, so how we digest things, how we take things in, how we manage things. So that's what we're really looking at with the fire element, right? And so it's a triangle with a point going down. And this balances those issues that we might have, like maybe being too controlling or not controlling enough, or not feeling like we can actualize our power in the world, feeling powerless. That's a kind of things that can go on in this chakra. Poor digestion, burning digestion, all kinds of things around the digestive area. Now we're going to go to the heart. And the shape here is so this is the element of fire, this is the element of air, and the shape here is a powdery blue triangle. The base of the triangle is pointing down, and the other triangle is pointing up, so it's like a six-pointed star. And this is the element of air, and it's the heart, so it's our feelings, our emotions, how we, our compassion, our empathy, our understanding, all these beautiful qualities that happen in the heart. Now, when this area is out of balance, maybe we feel like we're not self-love, not lovable, or finding it hard to express love, finding it hard to feel empathy, finding it hard to express, all the different feelings that are in our heart. And often the exacerbation of this is neediness, expressing ourselves through neediness. So nothing is good or bad. It's just imbalance, out of balance. And these are just some things to think about in this area. So we're going to balance this area with a powdery blue six-pointed star. And then we move to the throat. And this is the area of communication, expression, truth. And this is often symbolized as an egg shape, with the base of the egg at the notch of the throat and the roof of the egg in the roof of the mouth. And it's like, the shape is like a, what is it? It's like an opalescent pearl color and an egg shape. So we'll visualize that in the throat. And then we move up to the third eye, which is really, there's no color, there's no shape, it's just a sensation. And we just rest our awareness there. And that's insight, inspiration, intuition. All the in things happen right there in the midbrain. And then we bring our awareness to the crown of the head. And there is just openness. And hopefully we can just tune into that feeling of openness. And then we're going to go down the body again, going through all the shapes, coming back down to the base. So that's how we're going to work through this chakra meditation. And as I said at the beginning, we use the chakra meditation to focus the mind and feel balance in the different qualities and energy centers in the body, the way we express ourselves, finding balance through focusing the mind. All right, so let's come into a comfortable seat and just close your eyes for a moment. And just be aware of your breath. Notice your inhalation, notice your exhalation. And see if you can tune into the feeling of your sitting bones resting into the floor. Notice if the weight's at the back of the body or the front of the body. If you're sitting on a chair, just notice your sitting bones on the chair. And then focus on your pubic bone and your tailbone. And imagine in between the two is a golden square. The square is a cube, and it's made out of gold. And this is the earth element, the earth chakra. It's called Muladhara. And we're going to balance this area, the area of home, tribe, family, memory, by just visualizing that golden square right in the pelvis area. And just see if you can keep your mind on the image. You might even feel a kind of expansion and drawn feeling as you're imagining that golden square. Now, if you aren't good with visualization, just see if you can feel energy there or awareness there. Now next, we're going to move up to the pelvic area. So from the tips of the hip bones all the way down to the pubic bone, and inside our bodies, we're going to visualize a silver crescent moon lying on its side. The tips of the moon are right at the tops of the hips, and the base of the moon is right at the pelvic floor. And this is silver, the element of silver, the element of water, so the metal of silver, the element of water. And here we are balancing our likes, our dislikes, all our relationships, our connection with our sense of self, our creativity. So just visualizing that silver crescent moon. If you can't imagine, just feel the breath there. And then bring your awareness to your solar plexus. And here you're going to visualize a red velvet triangle. The base of the triangle is right at the ribs, and the tip of the triangle points down to the pubic line. So it covers the whole of the abdominal region. So it's quite a big triangle. And here, this is the area of will, of raw emotion, of power, of control, of digestion. So we're using that red velvet triangle image to balance that. So it's not overheated and it's not dim. It's like a ruby red gem, just glowing perfectly in this whole abdominal area. And when this area is balanced, we can make clear choices, we can feel connected to our emotions, our digestion is balanced. So just holding the image of the red velvet triangle right underneath the ribs and pointing down towards the pubic line. Right, next we're going to move our awareness to the heart. And here we're going to visualize a six-pointed powdery blue star. This is the element of air, and this is where we have our feelings of empathy and compassion. We have that heart open space of love and care for others. Also that openness and the releasing of the emotions. So just imagining that powdery blue six-pointed star right at the center of the heart, and feel the balance coming into the heart, balancing that expansive air element by holding this image, this yantra, right? One triangle is pointing upwards, one triangle is pointing down, and it's powdery blue right at the heart. If you can't visualize, it's totally fine. You can just feel your breath in the center of your heart, or you can just feel sensation. You might want to put your hand on your heart. So there's lots of ways to do this without having to use the power of visualization. So just trying to keep your mind on the shape, on the area of the body. Each chakra also correlates to the glandular system. So right here we have the thymus. When we're looking at the solar plexus, we're looking at like the adrenals and the kidneys. Down at the pelvis, it's the ovaries, right? All right, so let's move to the throat area now. And just visualize here a pearlescent egg shape. This is the area of expression, communication, movement upwards and away. And here we visualize that pearlescent egg balancing, helping us to have that balanced expression so we're not overly intense and we're not also mitigating ourselves and limiting ourselves in how we express ourselves. And so that beautiful pearlescent egg, it's like giving birth to expression. So holding that right in your throat. So the base of the egg sits at the jugular notch, and the top of the egg sits right at the roof of the mouth. So it's almost like energy is flowing up already in visualizing that egg, right? So the egg cracks open, and what happens is energy just naturally wants to flow into the midbrain. So if you feel that happening, let your awareness rest in your midbrain. Now there's nothing here, there's no color, there's no lights, but maybe a color comes to you, maybe an image comes to you, maybe it's just a feeling. You could also just tap your finger on your third eye and just rest your awareness there. Staying here for a few moments. This is the area of insight, inspiration, intuition, all the in things. And then naturally, you might feel your energy lifting to the crown of your head. So this is pure awareness, pure consciousness, which is the nature of who we are. So this is like the source of all joy, all peace, all bliss. This is the conduit. So it's flowing through us all the time. Consciousness is animating everything, enabling the functioning of the body, enabling our thoughts, enabling all our experiences is consciousness awareness. And this is just flowing through us 24/7 because it is the nature of who we are. So let yourself just bathe for a moment in this reality that you are not any of the chakras even. And there's a beautiful mantra that we can intone here. And let's do that all together. So taking a big breath in, you can chant Om. Now everything that goes up must come down. So on the way back down, we're actually going to chant the sound, the mantra, which balances the chakras. So here at the third eye, the sound is Ksham, K-S-H-A-M. So we'll just chant that together. Ksham, Ksham. You can even put your hands on your third eye here. Ksham, 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 Ksham. We'll put our hands on our throat and we'll chant the sound hum, H-A-M, and you'll really feel that resonating in your throat. Hum, 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 hum. And then we'll bring our hands to our heart and the sound is yum. See if you can feel that sound in the heart area. Yum, yum, yum. And then we'll bring our energy to the solar plexus, and here we'll chant the sound Ram, R-A-M, R as in rabbit. Ram, 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 Ram. And now we're going to come down to the pelvic area, and the sound here is Vam, V-A-M. Vam, 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 vam. Now we're going to go right down to the base of the body, and the sound here is lam, 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 lam. Now we've finished where we started with the area of awareness around the pubic bone and the tailbone, the earth element. Notice how you feel. Ultimately, what we do with a chakra meditation is we focus the mind. And when the mind is focused on shape or sound, it gets drawn out of its habitual need to identify with the thoughts, with the ideas, even with the idea of oneself. And what happens then is you get that tiny glimpse of the nature of who you are, which is peace, oneness, wholeness. So the peace that you feel at the end of a practice is literally the peace that you are, which is always there, 24/7, available. So I'm just going to finish with a mantra, and you can join in if you know it. Om Bhurvubhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Nah Prachodaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sri Gurubhyo Namahe Hari Om. May there be peace, peace, peace.